unit through towards Rugs. Snopsy here with the dual Berettas, primed and ready on Fletcher, sitting back on Fountain to support the contact about to be coming through. The duelists can do a lot of work here, but the jiggle is great. Now, on Fletcher, up behind the Fountain, not spotted yet, swings out for one, but traded immediately as the entries come through.
Yeah, and take a look at this. Max is holding the flank. We've got Meztal in the server instead of Fessor. So we'll keep our eyes on that. I'll try and look into why we've got a substitution. But currently it's a 4-on-2. Surreal holding, but Scenari deals with him. Mezcal immediately will trade, and there's simply too many quantities of endpoint players for BNE to contend with. And that's the UK side taking the pistol.
To catch a couple, spots out GXX, who still manages to stay alive and scamper away. Now hold for this push through towards B main, but no chance to fire off a shot. Michelle takes his head, and one flat throw gets jumped around the corner on by Heavy God. So everyone's falling at the moment for Bad News Eagles. This Force not finding anything.
That's if Surreal will even let him. And that won't be the case. That's $600 more in the back pocket, and that is BNE.
Comes out and takes down Rigon immediately. That's going to cause rotations now over to B to reinforce that site. Snopsy's looking forward, and here's a bit of a read on this. Catches Mighty Max trying to play around that edge there. And you can see he wanted to go through when the reload was needed, but caught by Mestel. A bit of a bait and switch set up there with the rifles in mid. Keeps Endpoint in the advantage. So many backs turned in a moment. One Flatro walking around the corner. Spots out the first. Doesn't see the rest, but he's found MHL, and that's a big target. Let's start looking for him now. They have to deal with him in the back lines, but he's still finding numbers. Mestel is here, and one Flatro drops him too. The trade comes through from Heavy God, but now he has to pull off the 1v2. The bomb has to be recollected, and he has no idea where these remaining players are.
Yes, gets a bit dicey. 20 seconds left as well. Timing never on your side. And you just get absolutely clotheslined by the AWP of GXX.
Pretty much single-handedly wins that round. And now look, he's getting aggressive in mid again. Look at this. Gets one and the follow-up. They get cleaned up as they try and force their way through the smoke, meeting nothing but lead. And even getting on the reload finds another. Surreal does trade it, but the damage is done. Mestel and Surreal now have to try and piece this back together. That's a nice clean shot, but not ready for Scenario to be that close. And with this round barely beginning, looks like it's already over.
You're not looking over your shoulder. You're not checking your flank. That's why Synopsys felt free to activate very passively. And there's still 2 more defenders on A.
I guess the first time anyone has spotted each other on this map, it's just been a utility exchange until this point. And time is running out. Going to be hitting the 20-second mark in a moment, and they have to force their way into this split. But there's 3 players on the side, and well, maybe they only need 1. Synopsy with a huge spray down leaves it all onto Mighty Max. Time is against him. The bomb not in his grasp. He knows that this round is done, but any damage would be nice. That AWP, if he could recover it, would be something. But he's going to go down. And that is a really nice hold from BNE, despite having no information. Outside of a little bit of presence in canals, they had all the players in the right spot for that.
This is what worked in the previous, all those rounds ago. At Endpoint, they want to try again, but they've got to get past GXX.
Well, the flashbang's perfect. That's allowed them in. That smoke lands at the perfect time as well. But there's 2 players with rifles on the side that you have to get past. Rigon, he's able to find one, but MHL has doubled up with that Tech 9. Trade comes on through, and 2 of these players are incredibly low. Flames aren't gonna go onto the bomb plant. Mighty Max has found a space that he can plant it, so they are gonna get that one down. It is planted for both of them. They realize that they just have no space here. Trying to flash forward, trying to take a fight, get some sort of advantage back. Mighty Max is dancing in and out of the doorway. So far, no frags coming through until Heavy God fills the feed with 1. Now it's all on to Mighty Max. He's just trying to find the head, and that's a well-timed jiggle. Scenario now in the 1v1. He's actually bailing. There's not enough time. Mighty Max has done it.
Yeah, that was really smart from Mighty Max because he knows he's defused and he just waits that extra second.
Yeah, they're actually going to call it off. Okay, that's good. One Flattery does take space. He's been spotted. MHL now has him locked in, but the flashbang's there to support, and one Flattery is taking the flights. MHL misses the flick. He now has to fall on back. Mighty Max, though, he's able to get that trade from Dark.
Oh, that's well played out of Max, but Hard Flatro still deals with MHL. And keep your eye on the minimap. The bomb is all the way back where the Orpha of Endpoint has just fallen. And now Mighty Max, the walls are closing in upon him. Heavy God tries to alleviate some of this pressure in towards mid, but it's still a 2-on-2. There's still 20 seconds, and Juan Flatro has now repositioned himself in the best possible position. Regon can even take contact and decapitate Mezcal. Heavy God versus 2, but he can't even get past the first.
That was a very messy round of Counter-Strike, and I think in those sort of scenarios, Bad News Eagles...
Or just the advanced positions you can take on this T side, but BNE are actually just turning the detriment into a success. MHL can't find success with the AWP, but swaps to the AK instead. But there's that aggression yet again. Scenari doubles down, and this goes from a man advantage to a man disadvantage real quick for Endpoint.
Yeah, as soon as they find one, those trees are so fast, and Scenari's not slowing down, and that does come to his peril. Back into the 3-on-3. Now Rugon's looking to get involved. A bait shot. That's really cool. It's waiting for Surreal holding this angle, but Rugon's actually able to get on through, so kind of sells his teammate down the river there. Juan Flatro has arrived at the scene as well. 2v2.
Juan Flatro's got time to play with, has got a kit in his back pocket. But MHL, gets caught off guard. Suddenly, it's the 1 versus 1. Surreal up high by the bricks. Nade doesn't quite affect him, and now time really is a pressure for Juan Flatro. He is out of there, and that's the right decision because the money, not in the best state of affairs for BNE, despite having 8 rounds in the bank.
Hey, look for a second like Surreal is considering peeking that as well, so lucky that Juan Flatro runs away. Endpoint get another on the board. Feel a lot more comfortable playing it, as we've seen from BNE, just knowing when to take those aggressive moves, but 5, not going to be enough on the T side, for sure. And well, Synopsy taking down 3 in mid. Well, I don't think a 6 is coming anytime soon.
That second kill, he was not aiming at that player at all. That was completely unintentional. Out 2-on-5. It feels pretty improbable, but Mezcal holding the angle. Regon walks straight into the guillotine. That's a good start.
That could have been it, though. That needed to be it, because Scenario swings out and finds Mezcal.
We normally argue that 6 is a pretty decent number. I know in Tier 1 it's kind of like 4 or 5, but we had one more for Tier 2. The fact that BNE have already got 9 and potentially, well, I was going to say looking for double digits, that seems a little bit unlikely right now.
Have to get this retake underway. Both of these CPs here. The flank coming through as well. Looks like it's all over here, but GXX has found one. Here's Surreal, though, ensuring the round for Endpoint and 6 on board. The other way as well, and they're going to immediately hit onto the ace site. Utility raining on over. That flank is going to be fast, but it is being held for. GXX is going to be a pain up towards Rugs, but well, he's about to find pain on the other end as Mezcal swings around, but they can't find this frag, and GXX is actually doubled up. What? Unbelievable. Unfortunately, his teammates have fallen on the side, but he's done enough. He's found all players on that flank. There's still 2 here. They get on the defuse, and GXX has such little HP. It has to be the ace. Clutch here looking for it. Gets them off the bomb, but can't quite hit the headshot. Unfortunately,
theirs, and this is so aggressive early. Coming out the back of it, MHL swings, and he chimes in with Max to double down.
Not how you want your force fire to start here.
MHL can try and rotate back over in this elevated position. It'd be difficult for Synopsy to clear, but in actual fact, he walks his way through in towards CT. Now, Max is going to be under a little bit of pressure, but his reposition, it comes at the perfect moment because Synopsy now can't use and capitalize on his advanced positioning, technically.
20 seconds though. Synopsy makes himself known. Rigon clears Mighty Max, and well, what an advantage for Endpoint. Falls apart. Both players getting caught off. Synopsy finds another. And Mezcal is low from an earlier engagement in towards mid. So Heavy God, well, he has to do the heavy lifting like he did in the pistol round. Synopsy's looking for this fight as well. Finishes off Mezcal. Heavy God's just out of this. Can't do anything. Brings them a delicious stew.
That's why I said technically for Synopsy, because it felt like Endpoint had all the communication and all the information.
And it's a real must-win, because if you don't win this round, you're likely looking at a 12-7 scoreline. Fighting in towards mid. Rigon takes contact. And there are a lot of players in towards the connector here. One Fletcher finds that out the hard way. Rigon tries to get involved, and he's only good for the one. Now, a lot of damage was done onto Mighty Max, but it is 2 AKs that can be recovered. So 3v3 again. Synopsy, the hero of the prior round, looking to get involved over towards B. Spotted on that jump, but doesn't deter him from walking on forward, and he forces his way in on that fight. That bomb can now make its way over, and Scenario's spider senses are tingling. He might have spotted Mighty Max for a moment there, or perhaps there was a sound cue from Synopsy that brought him back, but...
Well, MHL's got information about 2 of these players. Synopsy is quite low. He knows the Scenario was in that corner, but can't win out the head-to-head gunfight. BNE, they suffer a lot of casualties, but it's so much easier.
Do a lot, and Synopsy's just going to keep walking. He's just able to walk into CT spawn, and he can keep on going. There's plenty of time here, so no reason not to just let him take this space. And if he walks into heaven, the round is done, but MHL actually spotted out GXX there, so all this patience doesn't reward the sniper, but at least Synopsy is going to find that 1 kill. Now they can hit onto the site. Heavy God trying to reposition, but there's nowhere safe from Bad News Eagles. Synopsy in the back lines once again to allow this bomb to come through.
Yeah, that's really awkward for Endpoint. Because what happens there is you've got the immediate trade in towards middle. It's mid. We hope that BNE don't come this way. And if they do, we've got the cross. But yet again, Synopsy hits that timing, worms his way into the back lines, and Endpoint just get caught with their pants down. Really awkward engagements to watch if you are a CT fan. And now BNE are 3 rounds away from closing out Endpoint's map.
Yeah, I'll take that space. Sure, why not? Off the back of it, BNE are just going to start to move on towards A. There's no support here for Heavy God. He has to come up with something, but nothing is presented. GXX takes him down. And that's the site free for the taking. GXX holding the flank, gets 1. That's the spot of Mighty Max, so at least that trade comes on through, and a 2v3 gets you curious.
Gotta go for it. You got to go for this if you're Endpoint. 1 flat throw. Max had just cleared that angle, and yet he still peeks it anyway. BNE start to run. No util. Have to go for a contact play. GXX hits some crucial shots. I've got the AWP at the very least, so MHL needs to go big. Because Mighty Max hasn't. Surreal will trade. MHL passes the first hurdle, but there's more obstacles to come. Drops a smoke and backs on over.
Okay, well, you fumbled it twice now. MHL gets picked on the other side while this boost shenanigans were going on, and a deeper smoke to allow 1 Flatro to run on through. MHL fires up a shot, and that's given space for 1 Flatro, but it's space that's quickly plugged by MHL, who's stepping up here after that flubbed molly in the fire round, has found every kill here on the site. The real comes through at the end, and Endpoint keep on fighting.
Diving down into the depths of the canals. Surreal's going to be under a lot of pressure, but MHL, maybe that nade can finish off Scenario. No, but the P250 bullets will. Good start. And now Surreal needs to tuck in, but he gets absolutely flatlined by 1 flat throw. MHL needs support, and he's got it with Mezco on Mighty Max. 3 on 2, but Rigon reopens up the bomb site. Rotations in from Dark, information given over to BNE, and GXX going for the peak, but that's a costly mistake. Max is the hero that Endpoint needs, and they're going to go up to 12.
Yeah, huge triple from Mighty Max there towards BNE, just playing around the utility dispensed by Endpoint, and look at the space they're taking. Rigon's walking all the way through onto the site, just forcing his way in. Defensive smoke to allow Mighty Max to stay alive, and Messel spotted out 1 towards jail. Something just walked on through. Oh, that's so messy. I think maybe the smoke was in his face. He's able to stay alive and win that one out. GXX falls in Scenario with such little HP, just can't quite hold on. And Mighty Max, through it all, stays alive and gets the defuse. There, when SO is going to come out ahead there, and well, speaking of, trying to force again way into the site. Rigon's walked all the way through, does find Surreal, but MHL is still in towards Dark with his AWP. Misses a much needed shot, but doesn't miss the follow-up. Rigon wanted to go for the fast trade, and he is punished. Scenario, the only one remaining, needs to find 3 more frags, and they know where he is. He's walked on through, that bomb out of his hands, trying to find this fight onto Mestel, and he is able to get it done. This would be an absolutely colossal clutch if he could pull it off. 2 more players to find is to take him down. Bomb plant is actually going to come on through. The smoke towards CT gives him space to work with. Mighty Max's vision is completely blocked, and Heavy God doesn't want to start to make the moves yet. Neri hasn't planted for B main, so you're not expecting him to push through here. Temple is likely where you think he's gone to, and so that's where they decide to smoke on through. Neri now holding for Max to swing on out to the site. Needed to hit that shot perfectly, because now they know exactly where he is. That bomb can just be stuck by Mighty Max, completely covered. And even if he found that frag there, it was always going to be 15 for Endpoint.
Yeah, insane coming out of Endpoint. Understanding.
Quite a few of them walking on through. Nestle jiggles out, does spot the one. Snoxy is very close, and he's just going to run on past. Continue to put the pressure on. Nestle repositions. That smoke is so well timed. That's going to give him such a good fight. Takes down 3. While Rigon might find the 1 kill onto the site, it's again one of these 2-on-4 scenarios for B&E to fight their way out of.
And they've got no utility. There's plenty of kits available, 3 of them in fact. So Rigon wants to go hunting towards CT, but even if you get past Surreal, you still got Max on the other corner, but that isn't even a factor. Scenario versus the world. And suddenly, things get a little bit more difficult. There's only one outcome. It's an Endpoint defuse and an Endpoint map win. It takes the full 30, but they managed to get it over the line.
But 8 rounds in a row, 9 in a row towards the end there for Endpoint to take that one. A fantastic recovery.
Yeah, this is really dangerous. GXX just holding his nerve in towards Cave. Could go toe-to-toe with MHL, but if they swing this together, potentially, the USPs could do a little bit of damage. However, Scenario and Juan Flatro trying to stand their ground, but that is until Surreal delivers 2 critical headshots, and Endpoint start off like strong on the CT side.
I'm tricky to fight for mid, and well, Rigon, he wants to take that fight, flashes himself through for 1, but the trade is fast. The rest of the team starts to hit on towards B. Surreal gets the information. And he's the support of Mestel, who's playing in towards Cave and falls to the hands of One Flatro. Surreal getting forced on back, but MHL able to sit back and bait in for 2. Puts it now into the 2-on-2 as the bomb gets planted. Neri now playing behind the smoke, waiting to see if MHL wants to push it. Nopsy's just got this Desert Eagle. He starts to walk on forward, but I think Heavy God must have got a sound cue. Leaves it now all onto Scenario. A 1v2 knows where they both are, but Heavy God slams his foot down. And Endpoint take the conversion. Are quite certain where this hit's coming through. Rigod not able to find that kill. Pretty much needed to, because now the pistols have to try and get it done. That flashbang is great though. It allows Scenario to come on through for the kill, but MHL long range with the A1S makes quick work of the remaining players. One Flatro, the only one that's left, and well, maybe he's the only one they need, because that is absolute insanity.
Oh, are you kidding me? Juan Flatro, that's the last bullet in the magazine. And of course he makes it ring true. What on earth is that? Yet again, it's individual heroics.
The recovered AK fighting those 3, and then that final frag is poetry. The 4-spy falling flat as well. No one connecting their shots, getting picked apart at every single turn by the Eagles. Surreal finally finds one with his 5.7 to get himself an AK, but he's being hounded, surrounded, and put into the ground. Now going to be getting active in towards Cave. 2 players taking that control to fight all the way in towards lane, and they found it empty because B&E are hitting over towards A. 2 players putting a lot of presence here, trying to fight into it. Snary's found one. Synopsy burns MHL. GXX in mid finds a kill as well. So everywhere B&E go with these rifles, they're finding success. Heavy God doesn't know what to do. It's been 30 seconds and he's been sitting in Red House, and suddenly all of his teammates have fallen.
That's just the power of B&E. That's a staple. And that's an example of how dangerous they can really be. So many individual gunfights being taken. They win every single one. In fact, it's a team ace across the board. Everyone, Max starts to wriggle his way towards the edge of the smoke. And this is really aggressive. Potentially, it's a taste of B&E's own medicine. Mestel does significant damage. Information relayed, and Nade secures the job. And keep your eye on Max, because he's now dealing with Synopsy, because he just walked through the smoke.
Yeah, this entire round has fallen flat on its face, and we'll explain how that took place in a moment, because maybe there's a chance they can find their way through. GXX gets the one before he's traded. Very often finds himself in these positions where it was looking like he was going to fake that, but Endpoint didn't budge. Kept presence here, and it rewards them with the round, so not falling for the fake. It's being done. I wonder if he's hearing that. The Real's been brought incredibly low. MHL still here, but the spam eventually finds Surreal. Canary deals with the AWPer, and they've just forced their way through. Doesn't matter that there's a stack here. Everyone's going down. Messel's going to run out of bullets in a moment, but oh my god, he turns around at the right second to nail one Flatro. But now it's all on to him. That flank was dealt with. Messel doesn't have the health to go for it.
Rely on your crossfires a little bit more, because ultimately the 1 versus 1s are your undoing. MHL on the boost will find Scenario. That's a great opener for GXX. Fully advanced in. Flashbang is the perfect supportive element. 5 on 2. This round crumbles underneath B&E.
Rigon's been spotted as well by MHL on that cross. Doing everything now for Endpoint. Mighty Max steals to Rigon. Snopsy's got that bomb on his back, and he's hightailing it. And some sort of fight so we can feel a little bit more comfortable to plant that bomb, and well, he's just going to walk back, turned into Surreal. It's a perfect hold from Endpoint across the board.
Problem for Endpoint. They have got all the AKs. That's aggressive. That's one hell of a flashbang, but Heavy God wins out the fight anyway. Max, well, he's about to be between a rock and a hard place, been spammed out. One Flatro should find him. Instead, it's Heavy God that is removed. 4 on 3. Advantage for B&E, and look at how quick they're advancing. If Regal rounds this corner, not sure if MHL's ready.
It does look like he's hard clearing it, but no, it's such a tight angle. Just not ready for a play to be right there. That smoke has a gap in it, and Surreal is tempted to fight into it, but that temptation leads to devastation. And indeed it was. They're still able to hold on to the AK for now, but days are numbered. Snopsy makes sure of it. He's gotten up close. Surreal does seem aware of it, and Heavy God wins out the fight onto Rigon elsewhere. One Flatcher is spotted, and he's just going to force his way on through. Wins out the fight into Surreal, but not ready for that fast trade that comes on through. Snopsy finds that trade onto Heavy God, though. Keeps it in the 3 on 3. If he finds the bomb, this round falls apart. Comes down to the timing, and Mighty Max swings at the perfect moment. Doesn't matter. This advanced position to be the A site. MHL can end the round right here if he can find this shot. And indeed, he's going to swing on out, but misses the shot. Now he's just trying to waste time, wait for his teammate to arrive. The clock is ticking, and he has to swing. The bomb denied, and a 6 for Endpoint.
But you're right. The biggest consideration there is the bomb. Weren't ready for him to be so far up, and he denies, and honestly, single-handedly wins the round. Aggression coming in, but Regon denies. And that's really important. MHL now put on notice. Bomb yet to commit. And Regon's already out through this smoke, but MHL will trade.
Yeah, good shot on back. Kind of done so much work, though, with that double kill. Endpoint now taking aggression, and it's ill-timed. So, here, GXX does hear the sound cue, but Mestel's able to hit the shot. Still the advantage for B&E, but they have to retrieve this bomb, and Mestel has slipped on through towards the spawn. MHL loses out to Synopsy now, so it leaves it all on to the young Israeli to get it done. Good shot, and a great follow-up on the one Flatcher. He might just be doing it all here for Endpoint. A 1v1 now ensuring Synopsy where he goes. If he goes through towards Cave now, Mestel was caught between 2 angles, but he decides to reposition to hold the line, and Mestel does everything. 4 in the round, and 7 for Endpoint at the half.
Another one now being deployed deep in towards B. This has got an A-Rap written all over it, and Juan Flatro knows that his time's coming.
They've got a good setup here, though, for being 3 players here. If you're Endpoint, you're not ready for this entire split, but okay, Surreal takes down his teammate. That is unfortunate. Another smoke blooms in their face, but MHL continues to walk on forward. The second player, unexpected, but one Flatro's shot is perfect. Heavy God needed to hit that one with the P250, but he can't do it. As one Flatro standing tall over on A.
My God. It is, and that means that there's a gap in towards Donut right now. At least Synopsy's rotated back over, but Mestal with the immediate trade. MHL will finally fall, and now the MP9 starts to just ring out. Calamity, but Rigod still on this site. They need to get past him. Heavy God will answer the call and unfortunately can't get the bomb down, but it's still significant economic damage. But Endpoint still looking for that bomb plant.
Yeah, great recovery after losing that initial fight in towards lane. They're able to fight back in mid. Snary drops the flames and wins out the first fight, but overwhelmed by Heavy God. And oh my god, what an adjustment. Rickon looked like he should have had him dead to rights there. He was so low HP, but Heavy God reigns through terror. GXX now has to clutch it out. That's the first kill. Heavy God's low, and GXX knows it, swaps the P250, hits the shot. A 1v1 now between the two AWPers, and GXX holds true. A 1 versus 3 is fantastic from the AWPer for BNE.
Yeah, that's incredible from GXX. But yet again, Endpoint, you're in a 1 versus 3, and you're fighting the AWP individually. MHL, there is no reason.
Before, yeah.
No.
Don't know if I sell that. That smoke is not it. Shot fires out, and I don't know if that's going to alert you. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Rigon doesn't need anything but a flashbang. Find a few frags. Comes over the top, sets him up. Now BNE are feeling the CT side aggression. They are taking space everywhere on the map. Just spamming through, fully blind Scenario. Through the smoke, can't see them. Through the edge of the box as well. Through the head of MHL. GXX finds the last. And at some stage, Scenario realizes he can't overstay his welcome. Has to fall on back. Synopsy, surely. He has this kill for free every day of the week. There it is. Straight into his crosshair. Bubbles that one up. Now Rigon might have a similar opportunity. Able to flick on over to Heavy God as he walks into the site. Sorry, against a team like BNE. We're very aware they're plugged into the Matrix at the moment. They are looking sharp, but Surreal does hit a headshot back. Puts into the 3-on-3 as that bomb goes down. That smoke denies an immediate retake. They have to group up and work out how they're going to go for this. Yeah,
but good nade. Surreal removed from the equation early. Flashbang allow the space to be taken, but Meztal, that's a clinical headshot on towards Synopsy. Back into an even playing field, but GXX makes sure it's still in favor of the Eagles. And now MHL wants a bird of prey himself in AGO, but can't quite lock it up. GXX with another crucial kill, coming up with significant impact on the server right when it matters most in the crunched moments.
Gone for a bit of a bait and switch setup. I'm Flatro trying to bait out his fallback with the shots fired off and the loud footsteps on that reload.
Importantly backs up there as well, because there was a timing window for MHL. Denari with one more trade, 3-on-3. Still feels pretty favorable for Endpoint. That bomb.
It comes down to the timing, whether GXX can catch a player here and, oh my god, just on the other side, you can see the silhouettes, and there's the shot. Adjust for the second as well, and he's done his job. 2-4, and it leads it all onto MHL to keep Endpoint in this map. A 1v2 required. Now, one flash row is very low from those earlier engagements in towards Cave. And MHL is just walking on through. Time is low, so he has to find these kills quickly. Oh, the knife out at the worst possible time. Rigon catches him, and BNE take Ancient.
Yep, incredible defense from BNE. Their CT side has got everything that you want as a recipe for success. Of this best of 3 begins right now.
Oh, and it's a fast opener for Rigon. Mighty Max only good for the 1 in response. Rigon continuing to push on forward, and I see ready for this player in sandbags. Might not even matter. Rigon's found a 3-piece, and the rest of the T's are on towards the big bomb site already. MHL Mesta will have to play retake into this one as the bomb is planted.
Look at Juan Flatro in middle, but he's also got support. MHL does find him, but there's that support network. Mestal with 1 understands that, hey, well, Synopsy was in mid. I can just try and stick this bomb. In actual fact, wants to try and take the fight. Synopsy maybe not realizing that Mestal doesn't have a defuse kit off the bomb based off the audio, wasting so much time now with Synopsy, but he's worried that Mestal will stick in the entire time. Instantaneous headshot means that BNE thrive in the pistol.
Guns out for Endpoint, rifles across the board, all M4s, out of detriment to a little bit of utility, but Mighty Max just takes the open fight onto Rigon and comes out ahead. Wins out that Angel. That flashbang is good. JXX able to capitalize, but the trade is fast from MHL. Scenario looking to be faster as he snakes on through, but they are able to escape.
Doesn't connect cleanly onto Juan Flatro, but it's still a decent amount of damage. And well, that's how you nade stack. Scenari finds MHL. And suddenly the bomb site is open and unlocked for BNE. Juan Flatro elevated on this angle. Should have Surreal, and he does. Head taking cleanly off the shoulders. Heavy God with the immediate trade. It's a 2-on-2.
Oh, Mestel spotted, but able to win that one out. Synopsy now has to do it all. Spotted out as he moves up towards the ramp. Now they have all the advantages, and Mestel able to swing up from that headshot angle to find the kill. Bay doesn't want to push forward immediately. The Rio looks like he has a bit of a gap there, and he exploits it. That smoke thrown by hand and doesn't quite work out for BNE. Lost 2 players already, have gained this control in towards mid, but again, it's a missed smoke. MHL punished on that peak, and Scenari gets one. Can't quite convert the spray. Mestel still fighting here. Over in the corner. Synopsy wants to pin him into it. Advantage back. Look at this. He's walked all the way through. Knows that with the man advantage in Endpoint's favor, he needs to catch someone off. And even spotting the shadow, it doesn't matter. That jiggle is pristine. And Synopsy with low HP has to do it all. First shot is clean. Knows where Heavy God was, and Heavy God is playing it safe. Sits on back, waits for the fight to come to him, and is rewarded with the frag.
Yeah, that's so smart from Heavy God.
Control Endpoint have gotten.
It looked like Scenario was holding for that exact peek out of Heavy God, just as the smoke was fading. Surely this angle is going to be cleared based on how diligent they are being, and yeah, exactly that. But Heavy God still, finds a couple, and his work is not done yet. Synopsy will eventually trade, and keep your eye on Juan Flatro, because he's going to cut off all of this rotation. But that's until Surreal steps in. 3-on-2.
JXX with the orb, looking to take the fight onto the site. No armor is mentioned, just has to find the shots, and coupled with the body will slow him down, but his bullet still reigns true. Mestel removed, and a 2-on-2 commences. Oh, Surreal peering over the smoke, faded on through. Synopsy gets that trade. A 1v1 now, but Mighty Max is on the flank, coming up the stairs, and Synopsy, he moves on forward. Going to be jumping on back though, reveals his back, and Mighty Max almost fumbles at the long range, but he is able to connect. On Spam, not connecting onto MHL, who is dancing with death, playing at the top of the ramp around those smokes. Walking on down now, Rigon spots him out, but can't find the kill, and Heavy God has managed to come out ahead with that M4, gets a second as well. They've walked straight into the strongest rifle, and they just fall one by one. And to continue to force the issue as well, despite the bodies of the Eagles littering the stairs. Boost up for Rigon to get him in closer. Smoke actually giving a bit of space for Heavy God to stay alive here. More utility now coming on over, but the rotations are here. They can afford them. Desert Eagles come to support Heavy God with that M4. Rigon walking forward. Taps him out of the server. Rigon sharp as you like it. Start to take the space. More utility running on through. These smokes are going to fade soon. That's a good ding onto Rigon. He's brought down low, but doesn't stop him swinging out for another. Synopsy chimes on in, and GXX's AWP swings on through. Mighty Max now has to do it all. AWP is low, but Synopsy's bullet connects, and BNE make it work.
That's so chaotic.
Both training on each other's positions. MHL misses the flick. Synopsy can now reposition, but he doesn't miss the follow-up. Over towards B again, and Heavy God has shown his prowess over on this side of the map. Now to be worried about mid as the pressure comes on through. That's the perfect time for them to strike. GXX deals with the man from above. Surreal now flashed and pincered between so many angles. Rigon's darting on through. MHL will find him as he dances through the smoke, and Mighty Max has found something of his own. Happens to be that C4. And the man that's gone back to retrieve it has so little HP. And it's a very passive position from Mighty Max. Could even just be the timing, but no, it's to set up MHL. Hiding in the ladder room, drops both. The information play, leaving the bomb behind, has gifted Endpoint this round unless GXX can come up with something massive. Knows that both of them are, gets the first, but can't quite deal with the swing from Mighty Max. and Endpoint get their 7th. They're now relegated to these pistols. Heavy God getting frisky, but look at Snary. He's already through the mid, jumping on over, but the Tech-9 can't quite connect. JXX's Deagle does, though, and Mestel now is in an uncomfortable position. 4 Ts running up, and the FAMAS is only good for 1. A 3v3, a rifle, recollected, smokes dispensed across the site to give them the space to make their way through. Spamming, not connecting with these M4A1S bullets. Firing off shots, Synopsy with the bomb. He's in charge of planning that one with that P250. Rigon swinging on 4, gets the fight on the MHL. Surreal now stuck behind everybody and does a lot of damage to 2, but no kills found. If he gets 1 there, it suddenly feels so much more achievable. Now, no space here, and Rigon's walked on through. Gives up his life for it. Another below, though, is GXX with the AK, and it's B&E with the pistols that get it done. They'd love to do, but check out this setup in towards Gap. Or maybe don't check it out, because it's about to be catching on fire. Max gets a dink, though, and he knows that sound cue came on through. Rigon picks out and spots 2. Max does get that refrag, so keeps the advantage there for Endpoint. It's over on towards B when you've spotted 3 over at A. That's allowed to get the bomb down, which makes this a much tougher task for these pistols. The XX being patient in towards mid, going to be hearing Mestel firing off those shots, rewarded with the kill. Now he can just hang about, be a nuisance, stay alive. Low Endpoint down. One Flatro tucked onto the stairs. The XX still hanging out here, and eventually we'll have to come on forward, because if one Flatro goes down, this could all start to fall apart. Smoke now onto the bomb, and there's that kill from Mighty Max. Heavy God gets on the defuse, and it's not planted for GXX. He's so low, has to get on through, gets that first kill, and the time is ticking on down. The defuse being stuck, but the Deagle spam from GXX. The bomb explodes, and it's a 7th for Bad News Eagles.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate for Endpoint. They didn't have a defuse kit. They forced in, but can't afford the $400 for the things. The pistols trying to provide the heroics, and they so nearly did. This time it's a different story. Entry falls favor towards the T side. Now looking to get aggressive, but Surreal will only find 1, but it's MHL on the follow-up. But BNE are being so aggressive, so fast in the moves that they're making. Has Heavy God found the bomb?
GXX is actually going to pull out the P250. Surprised he's the one that's in charge of recovering this. You don't send the rifler, but no, there was support there, and B&E drag it back to win out the half 8-7. A little passive over towards A itself, and Scenario spots a few sneaky Ts making their way up towards the site. Smoke comes through towards the elevator, and there's a big gap in it, so GXX can throw a few bullets through, a bit of information as well. Rigon finds Surreal, and now the flank starts to come on through. Nice shot from one Flatcho, and everybody is falling now. Leaves it onto the shoulders of MHL, who's found 1, but that bomb is being defused. Running out of bullets and running out of a head. GXX takes him down, and B&E get the pistol.
Yet again, it's this aggression that is so synonymous with BNE that is really causing Endpoint problems.
Yeah, Synopsy knows that player's low, gets in there with the MP9 to finish the job. Get himself an AK as well, and get that advantage for B&E. GXX to this space did allow that to come through, but the space is quickly gone from his hands as he is spotted out and dealt with by Surreal. And off the back of that, it's going to entice Endpoint to start to make their way onto the site. Defensive smoke dropped, but Synopsy actually wants to play a bit more passive. Use this long-range angle. Fight them as they come on through. No secondary smoke, and he's able to stand out and spray 2. Beautiful from Synopsy. Leaves it all now onto the young Israeli. Just now playing with this team. Has to come up clutch here in a crucial round. Spots out 1, but can't connect the shot. It's Rigon that gets it done.
Everywhere you turn, every move BNE make, there's just some aggressive tendency in there.
Point do start to establish some ramp control, but BNE is sticking around. The player committed in towards the sandbag. And that's Synopsy who swings out to go down, but Rigon there with the trade gets that second in the chaos before he falls. A big step up to find those 2. Keeps it even now for BNE. And look at the reinforcements. Everyone is here. One Flatro almost blocked, and not ready for the second player was Mestel. Now with that information, you know that at most there can only be 1 here. They start to make their way through, going fast. Flashbang over the top. They're able to get in full free onto the sides. That bomb can be planted. A smoke. And Surreal, if he catches the timing here, could deal with GXX. That smoke goes on through. GXX is holding on the position but misses his shot. Heavy God finds his mark as well. And Endpoint finally find their first T round. There is still counter utility deployed. Rigon's holding the flames, ready to try and deny the plant, but no, throws it on forward. The fight comes on through now. They're forcing their way onto the side, but lots of CT bodies here to get through. And they are falling like flies, but the kills come through. Heavy God on that lurk finds a critical one, and Mighty Max now has to make his way through. All now onto GXX. Orp in hand. Could have dropped the bomb right there, but it's Mighty Max that finds him first. Continue to take the space off this. MHL is instead going to move it into more of a lurk with Heavy God there to support. Spotted out, and both of them coming out with a frag. Synopsy does get the trade back, and no Heavy God was here. So retrieving a rifle becomes difficult. And off the back of that engagement, Endpoint put their eyes over towards A, but one Flasher did find that kill. Synopsis getting curious, and that curiosity rewards a kill. A 2v2 now, and a chance for B&E to steal this away with the pistols.
And Max is accounting for it. Scenari actually gets the kill. No way. Mestal will trade out. 1 versus 1. One Flatro versus Mestal. It's all mind games. It's a 10-second stick. And actually, one Flatro's found a kit. He scavenged it off the body of one of the remaining defenders. And BNE stick it right in the face of Mestal and edge their way up to 13. There's plenty of money, but it's time running out for Endpoint.
Pace being taken on both sides by Endpoint. They're moving over towards the stairs and the ramp. They're still looking on forward, but the orb from GXX is here. He peers around the corner, hits the shot onto Mestal. Catches him through the edge of the box as he's falling on back. Mighty Max, though, a very sharp shot onto Synopsy. Keeps it even. Rigon now getting spammed through under pressure. Drops the flames and has the support of one Flatcher to keep him alive. Allows him now to stay and fight with Scenari. One Flatcher still here to support over. Looking from this angle, the headshot, but it's Heavy God's headshot that comes on through. Followed up by MHL's. Rigon gets one back, but he's so darn low. GXX now has to do it all. The 1v1 now presented. A spray on through, but it's GXX coming on over, finding both, and a 14 for B&E.
Yeah, it's absolute chaos, pandemonium on the server. And Endpoint, you think Heavy God has just done enough, but no, GXX clutches out.
Oh, and look at Rigon. He's just walked straight on through. Oh, MHL's aware. That trade is fast, and Mighty Max is rewarded with the kill into GXX. He peeked on over. 2v4 now. As the smokes come on through, they've gotten all the space into the site. Defensive CT smoke to give a direction back on through, but with Synopsy falling, one Flash Show would have to pull out something special here. Starts with that one, and the follow-up 2 on the Mighty Max. Making it work here, but brought down so incredibly low, and the flank is coming from Heavy God. In the back line, slowly snaking his way through. There's no need for Mestal to peek. He does still do it, and he's able to find the kill regardless. Heavy God there as the ace up the sleeve if required, but it's enough for Endpoint to take the round. Flames at the top, flashbang as well. Smoke comes through to allow Scenari to continue fighting here. Damage being done, but Scenari falls, trying to find a gap in that smoke, and instead he meets his demise. Synopsy gets one back, keeping it even here in the spam, though. How does that connect onto Synopsy? He was nowhere near him on the X-ray, but it doesn't seem to matter. Rigon had to win that fight. Now it feels like 14 secured for Endpoint. Unless one Flatro can do it all. HE over the top does a lot of damage on the Heavy God, but the order of the grenades does not work out. The bomb gets planted. The flames don't do really anything. But one Flatro is still fighting. MHL's head found and 2 players incredibly low. GXX is on a late flank with the AWP.
Execute on towards B. You put enough presence there to get all of the rotations to that side of the map. And Mighty Max needed to get that kill. As you mentioned, on towards Rigon, it was coming out of elevator and nails him. That creates all of the space.
16-14. Map win here and take the series.
Incredible. What a story that could potentially potentially be Mestal. Oh, catches off Synopsy, and that's a great start. Look at this, led with utility, but the aggression over the top, the flashbang is sublime. Endpoint, they're doing it. One flash throw trying to prevent things, but Heavy God trades him immediately. 4 versus 2, and GXX caught out on an island. This is the beginning of the end, and in fact, it's over already. Endpoint put a full stop on things on Vertigo and eliminate Bad News Eagles.
What an absolutely superb way to end the series for Endpoint. I can't believe they were able to bring that back.